Following the exit of President Joe Biden from the 2024 election contest, Vice President Kamala Harris is widely considered to be the presumptive nominee. Now, obviously, she's going to have to earn the nomination at the DNC convention coming up, but I think that there's a pretty high chance that she will end up becoming the Democratic nominee. And so, of course, Fox News and Republicans are already treating her as such by immediately being incredibly racist and misogynistic. Because, of course.
The Republican Party's racist.
Starting with Matt Walsh, who immediately brought up old, untrue allegations that Harris had, quote, slept her way to the top. He posts on X that Harris got her start in politics by sleeping with Willie Brown. She became vice president because Biden needed a non-white female on the ticket. Oh, here we go again. Okay.
They shamelessly clothe their female, inviting others to unclothe them, the very depth of perversion.
I'm sorry. Every time a right-winger talks about women, that's what they sound like, Ferengi. Anyway. He continues with the post. Now she likely becomes the Democratic nominee for president because a guy at the top of the ticket has dementia. She's made a career out of begging for handouts from powerful men. A thoroughly unimpressive human being, says Matt Walsh, who is, I would say, the definition of a thoroughly unimpressive human being. Okay, but anyway, funny enough, wait, did Matt Walsh actually admit that she's a human being? Oh my God, that's a step up for Walsh, who usually does not consider women, especially women of color, to be people. So maybe we're making some progress with Matt Walsh. Oh my God, but there's more, by the way. Right-wing lawyer Clay Travis then compared Harris to Stormy Daniels, which, wait a minute, Stormy Daniels effectively got Trump convicted. So where's the bad thing about that? He said this. So, how's Kamala Harris starting her career in politics as a side chick of the married mayor of San Francisco? Not a hugely important story. For one, nobody except for right-wing freaks who believe that the only thing women are good at is being baby factories cares. Okay, no one else cares. Okay. But again, he's not even correct about that allegation. The Beast reported that a fact check by Reuters back in 2020 confirmed that Brown and Harris dated back in 1994. Again, nobody cares. When Brown had been separated from his wife for more than a decade. But once again, nobody cares. Why is this a big deal? In fact, the fact check stated Harris and Brown's relationship was not secret, and they made public appearances as a couple. But once again, no one cares. It gets dumber, though, than just lies about Harris's relationships, okay? Again, doesn't matter at all. They then go from that to attacking her for being inclusive towards the disabled.
Good afternoon. I want to welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
So they posted her explaining her pronouns and what she looks like. That all they did was to post that video and that quote. This is the RNC research account, which apparently did absolutely no research, because if they did, they would find out that she was speaking to disability leaders, including those who happen to be blind.
Whoopsie. Whoopsie.
You idiot.
Yeah. One convention, this is according to the Atlantic's analysis, Harris's event was held on the anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act and focused on the effect of new abortion restrictions on the disabled. One convention meant to accommodate blind and usually visually impaired audiences is a brief self-description by the speaker, in this case Harris. Other speakers at the event all did the exact same thing. Even a former Trump campaign aide, A.J. Delgado, brought that up saying this, quote, "She was addressing the table of the blind, you morons." True. Oh, but it gets even dumber. Those attacks fell flat. And so on Fox News, Sean Hannity is going to take a different approach by criticizing her for laughing too much.
Here's just one reason that voters seem to detest Kamala Harris. You decide.
Okay, so
You are everyone here, right? We are special. You know,
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No. I thought we were supposed to conserve things. I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
Yes, your giggling vice president.
Oh my God, she laughs. Yes, because she is a human being, and human beings sometimes do that. Yeah, weird, right? No, this is all really, really dumb. You can see that they're scrambling and they're desperate for something, anything to latch on to. That said, does Harris have issues? Of course she does. Now, for one, and people like to point out that she's got a lot of staff turnover. Now, I looked into that, and I actually didn't think that that was that big of an issue, honestly. Here's why. Quote, "Some former aides said Harris had high standards that some did not want to keep up with." Oh, no, having high standards for what? Being vice president, a staffer to the vice president? I don't know. I would think that I would have some fairly high standards. And then, of course, others felt that she frequently grilled them the way that she would grill Trump officials, basically getting interrogated. Well, she's a former prosecutor. Okay. I just didn't think that was that big of a deal unless she's like throwing staplers like Amy Klobuchar. All right. Then that would be different. Okay. Now, something that's more real and something that is, that could be a huge problem here is the fact that her polling is not great. Okay. Now, that said, while I think that Biden's 37% approval rating and hers is pretty close, if not slightly better, I think that while that's Biden's ceiling, that could be her floor, but that depends on how she campaigns. And so now she's getting out there and she actually can run a campaign. The other thing working against her, though, is she's considered to be more of the same, okay, more the establishment, the continuation of Joe Biden and his policies. And I think if she wants to change that perception, and I think that would be helpful if she does, she's going to have to get ahead of that. She's going to have to start articulating a vision, what you're going to do differently than obviously Donald Trump, but also Joe Biden. Now, that said, she'll also be answering for the Joe Biden economy and will definitely need to message what she plans on doing differently because there are still issues with inflation. The economy is a really, really important issue on people's minds, kitchen table issues as well. So those are some of the things that are working against her. But again, there's also things that might be working for her as well. This is essentially a reset, a new campaign. She could distance herself on issues that have hurt Biden, like the economy, but also things like Biden's stance for weapons to Israel, which happens to be something that is not exactly endearing or didn't endear people to the Biden campaign, specifically young people, Muslims, etc. So, all right, there's some weaknesses there, but there's some possible strengths as well. It all depends on, how well she does getting out there on the campaign trail and really making a forceful, eloquent campaign. And I think she'll be able to do that, or campaign message, I should say. And I think she'd be able to do that. that said, the fact that Trump and his campaign are already doing the racisms and the sexism, which also, by the way, does really well in the Republican side, and you know, of course, there is that. It tells you pretty much what their plan is for campaigning against Harris, and so we're going to see a lot more, and it's probably going to get even uglier as time goes on if she does indeed become the nominee. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.